First of all, that what just said isn't true, because 1500 training was also done.
You didn't have any comments on that?
It was, a finished copy of that was circulated in the Court of Copwatch. I've seen it, so I don't know.
COAB didn't have anything. Your COAB didn't have recommendations on that one.
I thought she did.
Nope.
My recollection is we did.
My recollection is you did also. But regardless, the point is that whoever came up with that system needs to rethink that system right now, because you're hearing that this is what the choke point is, and what led to the implosion of this group, more or less, is that when they make recommendations that came from discussions from the community, and you're sitting there and saying, well, we have to talk about it with the DOJ, the Bureau has opinions about these things, and we know that. And we know if you say, well, that's not going to work because an officer safety issue or whatever, then send it back to the COAB, and then they have a chance to work on it some more, so that when it gets to the finalization, instead of them being left out of the discussion, they're part of the discussion all the way through until the end. Right? You understand? There has to be a continuous feedback loop so they can be part of it all the way to the end, because otherwise their recommendations are just whatever they said, boom, thank you very much for making those recommendations 25 months ago. They've got to be part of it all the way to the end. And the agreement is among the parties of the city and the DOJ. And the COAB is there to advise you both. So I don't see why the COAB shouldn't have a person. And yes, the COCL is currently the chair of these meetings. But I don't see why the COAB shouldn't have a person at those meetings. I think that would be a very good way to build community trust and create that feedback.
Marie-Claire, did you want to respond?
I have it.
Okay, very well.
You're shaking your head that wouldn't work to have a COAB member.
No, what
I was thinking
because if you want to take up another suggestion, from my perspective, it would be more helpful if you would address these directives as we are, rather than doing them months or years ahead. And we can give you the schedule of the ones that we're doing, but you talk.
Wait, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You put out those directives for review and asked for input.
No, I'm talking about now when we have this DOJ schedule. It's, we're dealing with the force one right now, and so that's when we're going to take up your recommendations about the force one. That's all I meant. You were talking about contemporaneous. So.
Okay. V wanted to say something.
So, what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, my sense is that the main issue is about communication, and clearly it sounds like the PPB, the DOJ, and the city have a policy development process, and that the community wants, oh gosh, okay, is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry about that, you guys. Sometimes it's like, well, if I can hear myself, then everybody else can, right? Okay, so I'm going to repeat what I said, so for the sake of everybody else listening at home. So what I heard, the central issue was, or is, about communication. So the PPB and Marie-Claire, I'm not trying to single you out and look at it. Okay. So I'll look at the corner over there. So the issue is about communicating about policy development, and that the community wants to see, wants to be more a part of that process, either through the communication that, we started out this conversation with that letter that's in the packet. I'm not going to hold it up because we're all familiar with it already. I think it's a little bit deeper than that, though, from what I've heard so far from what people have said. And I don't really want to belabor the point, but certainly there's right minds at the PPB and the city and the DOJ that could figure out some sort of communication process that includes the COAB and the community. So that way, at least the community is aware that these policies are being are in the process of being developed or analyzed, like that. I'm not a policy analyst professional yet, and I know that there are other people that are. So hopefully somebody in our community, in our circle right now, can speak up to that. I just wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you. One of